Alright then everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are heading up to Kendal to see the guys at Red Bank, one of the coffee roasters that we use in the shop. And this is episode 2 in our little series of basically checking out our suppliers. So we're going to jump in the car and we'll see you up there. Right everybody, welcome to Red Bank. Cool, so we're at Red Bank with Tom today. So basically, the plan is to have a little nosy around, see what's in the roastery. So if you lead us on in, we'll crack on.
Let's do it.
So, I always like coming in here. It feels like a lab to me. So, this is the space, obviously. So, if you fancy just giving us a little tour around, kind of showing us what.
Yeah, for sure.
How the roastery is laid out, how it kind of works for you guys on a day-to-day basis, really.
Yeah, so obviously when we come in, we're straight in up at the bar. This is where, first thing in the morning, we make up a brew, but really it's here for kind of QC purposes, where we kind of test all our coffees and everything. So working our way along, we've got like, kind of pretty classic EK65, grind by weight. Got a linear PB, 2-group ABR, and yeah, this is kind of also just like the breakout space when we're not busy with production and roasting. So I guess if you come around this side, this is where all the magic happens. We've got Jay here helping us out on production. So Jay's just like doing all like the bagging of the coffee and like getting all set up for dispatch to our customers. And then here's Mike. Mike's our head of operations and head roaster. And Mike's just getting the day set up today for a busy week of roasting ahead. So
do you have sort of set days where you will roast?
Yeah, so we have like 2 deadlines for roasting each week for kind of wholesale orders. Got 9 AM on Monday. So we'll come in on a Monday, we'll compile all the orders and set like a roast schedule for the week ahead. Yeah. Everything gets shifted onto the now 2 lorrings, and all of that will go out on a Wednesday dispatch on the next day service. So yeah, if you order by 9 AM Monday, you'll get it by Thursday. And then we kind of have a shorter second cycle. So orders in by 9 AM on Thursday get dispatched on Friday. And then it all starts again week after week. Pretty amazing setup now. Cool. We've got a loring S15 Falcon, an S35 Kestrel, so that's maximum 15 kilos of green coffee per batch, maximum 35 kilos of green coffee per batch. It's got to the point now where a large proportion of what we do is our house espresso, and it was a lot of roasts on the 15 kilos to kind of get that out.
So do you just split it, so you do pretty much
house espresso, decaf and penny sweet on the 35. Pretty much everything else on the 15 for the smaller batches and more kind of exclusive stuff. But yeah, it's not how we started in this. It all looks pretty slick, but 10 years ago we were in a tiny little shoebox that was probably like the size of this corner, with a little like 6 kilo Gießen, and manually logging all the roasts by hand on graph paper and stuff like that. So
crazy.
Yeah, this is 10 years of work basically.
Which is amazing. So obviously all coffee here.
Yeah.
So what have we got? Talk us through it.
So we've just had a fresh delivery of this is Mexico, Cacalotepec. It's from Oaxaca, from a group of producers based around town in Oaxaca called Santo Domingo Cacalotepec. So we just started incorporating this into our Penny Rock House Espresso, partly because it's a delicious component, but partly because that's our highest volume coffee. That's kind of what we're all about really, is kind of being good, valuable partners to community producers like that. So rather than say maybe getting 5-10 sacks from them a year, we're now getting like 50 plus from them a year, and planning to go back to them year on year.
Which is amazing, because I know that's one thing that you've always been like super keen on doing, is building relationships, and especially going out to Origin.
Yeah, exactly.
Making sure that somebody from the team has been out to see the producers, to see what's going on, to make sure things are running smoothly, and then obviously you have a better connection, I guess, with the products that you have in your...
Yeah, there's that. It's not just that though. It's like, what I've found is you can get an idea of a farm or a group of producers on paper or from a prospectus, but it's not till you go out there and you meet them that you understand whether or not you're you're supporting something positive. Like sometimes you can read a blurb about a group of producers and or a farm, and you go out and you have a look at the setup there, and I don't know, like maybe the workers look a bit downtrodden, or the people behind the farm don't seem that interested. But there's others you go to where you can tell like the owners of the farms are just like it's their lifeblood. They're interested in implementing kind of more sustainable and regenerative agricultural practices, and there's like this farm, a big Brazilian farm, and it forms the other components of our penny rock espresso. But you go there and you see it and you realize that the farm is incredibly well managed. They're really into implementing like regenerative practices, and not only that, but the son Hellison, who is taking over the farm, I'm guessing he's like 26 or something, but he's so into it, and you know that farm's just going to be in good hands for the next like 20, 30, 40 years.
That's amazing.
And so yeah, we're pretty confident we can go back and buy from these guys year on year and know that we're supporting something good.
That's great. And obviously in terms of different importers and stuff, obviously we've got raw material, DR Wakefield. It's kind of a set couple of importers that you use.
Yeah, so I guess, you know, it's been a journey for us in terms of how we buy coffee as well. Like when we started 10 years ago, I was new to coffee and I didn't necessarily understand the complexities of the supply chain. So right at the beginning, it was more just about bringing specialty coffee to the Lake District. I say bringing it, there were other people doing it, but it was really small and it wasn't everywhere like it is now. But the longer you get into it, the more you start to understand the supply chain and realize that it's not necessarily the best model to go around like cherry picking like one coffee from one importer because it tastes good and then another from another. And I don't know, at least for me, it became more rewarding going back to the same producers and importers year on year and building up like a proper network and real relationships. So yeah, we get this Cacao Tepec from Mexico. We get the Burundi that we just got in from you guys, the Azuba. This coffee from Peru, the Chota. And also we've got some Rwandans over here. We've got the Shira Wash, the Shira Natural and the Shira Honey. And we've got the Vunga Washed, all from Rwanda. That again is a raw material coffee. And we also get coffees from Colombia from raw material. So yeah, I guess going back a step, raw material are an importer of coffee from all those countries, and they're also a CIC, so like a community interest company, and they exist, all their 100% of their profits going back to the producers that they work with. So yeah, that's a pretty good endeavour to support.
Yeah, it's an important part of the brand, the business for you guys, is to have that connection with it, and it's doing good.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, we work with DR Wakefield, who are a family-owned importer based in London. We get our Brazilian coffee from them, so the Baixadão we just talked about. We get some Costa Rican coffee from them, so they're probably our big other importer. And then we get a little bit from an importer called Osito, so we get some Indian coffee from Kerahaklu from them, and Nordic Approach based in Oslo for our Kenyans and Ethiopians. But regardless of the importer we use, the intention is always to go back to the same producers year on year.
Yeah.
So Nordic Approach is kind of like a new relationship for us. We've tried a few times over the years to set up a similar kind of thing with producers in Ethiopia and Kenya, but we've had various challenges. But Nordic Approach is our latest attempt to set up kind of something long-term and meaningful, and they've got a reputation for importing like some of the best Ethiopian and Kenyan coffees in the world, and yeah, we seem to be on the right path to forging some good relationships there. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
And in terms of sort of your plan for the rest of the year, what's kind of things looking like? What's next?
Yeah, we've got quite a big one this year. So we have just taken on the lease of the unit next door, and the plan is for that to be a barista training space. So B, who she got her AST certification towards the end of last year, and we want to set up a space where she can bring customers in and get them their barista certifications, but not have it in the roastery space here, to have it like as a separate space, so these guys can kind of get on with production, and it's a
when it's full steam ahead in here, it must be pretty chaotic, and there's plenty of stuff going on and having training sessions. Kind of.
But it's also like a big open space like this, so the plan is also to set up a kind of coffee bar there and have a space where we can host like run clubs, bike clubs, and just events in general.
Yeah,
so yeah, quite excited about
yeah,
that.
it's going to be amazing. It'll be a really good setup to to have everything kind of and have it next door as well. Makes life nice and easy.
Yeah, I guess the other thing this year is we've been going 10 years this year, and I've kind of not really
a big part.
I've not really acknowledged that yet. It's been a really busy year, and I think we just need to get through the busy summer, and then I'll probably have a big party next door or something. So,
well, it's having a party, but also sitting down and going.
Yeah.
10 years, that's pretty good going, isn't it? That's amazing.
It is. I don't know. There's part of me that just wants to crack on, because like it sounds a bit cheesy, but I genuinely feel like we're just getting started. Like all these relationships that we talked about before, I feel like we're only just getting to a stage where we've kind of solidified that, and I can be like, okay, this is Red Bank. We're going back to all these producers in Rwanda year on year, and I'm happy to do so and say that we're going to do that. Same with like the Mexican stuff and the Brazilian stuff, and now that we've cracked kind of Ethiopia and Kenya, I feel like we've got a solid platform,
good coverage, a good platform,
so
covering kind of all bases.
So maybe we'll have a 11th year party instead.
Maybe. No, it's amazing. Like what you've obviously built here is amazing, and it's growing, and the setup's incredible now, and obviously adding to that, having the training space, that's just that kind of an additional thing now. It's just like pushing it to the next level, and really setting in. But no, it's amazing. Thanks for having us today, and thanks for working with Explorer 2. Obviously that's on the go now.
Excited to get that
first production roast this week. And we're getting bags, getting labels, getting everything set up, ready to go. So it's going to be second week of June. Is going to be in the shop, which is a mega. It's going to be amazing. So looking forward to getting it started and going with it. But thanks for having us up today.
Much appreciated.
Thanks for coming. We'll catch you soon.